What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a brand new Madden 26 realistic rebuild where we take your terrible teams, try to use real players from the 2026, and we have the 2027 draft class, so the best of the best that exist in college football, and we're going to draft them, and within 5 years try and bring some bad teams some Super Bowls. And without really any competition, the Atlanta Falcons have been our most requested team. They're coming off a victory to go to 4-7, but they just lost their question mark, is he a franchise quarterback or not, for the year in Michael Penix with his fifth major surgery, season-ending injury in his career. You have a super expensive backup quarterback that makes salary cap a little interesting. You have a kind of up and down freak of nature tight end that you don't really know if he's ever going to be the guy or not. You have a defensive-minded head coach whose defense is fine. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in today's NFL where the meta is shifting towards like an offensive play caller as a head coach, if you are going to be one of those teams that goes against the grain and wants to have a defensive coach, that better be a top 10 defense consistently. And while I think and agree with, I like the aggressiveness with them getting Jalon Walker, who looks really good, and then you got James Pearce, who looks pretty good, but more of he's a project player, more upside player. I think that will work out when all is said and done. But we are also starting with this Falcons rebuild. We do not have a first-round pick in this upcoming draft because they were aggressive to go get a James Pearce. They also got some other nice pieces there on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, Terrell Bates, Xavier Watts was a great value pick. Billy Bowman, another rookie, was a great value pick. But this is really, not a necessarily tear it all down type rebuild, but it's a figure it out type rebuild. We got to figure out the quarterback room. From a skill position standpoint, we have Bijan and Algier. We got to figure out Algier's contract. Is it worth signing and trading him? Is there really a lot of value there? Because ultimately in Madden, there's not a lot of offenses that can coexist with two running backs. And Bijan is freaking Bijan. He's all we need. We probably need to retool the wide receiver room. I don't really think Darnell Mooney can be counted on long term. Drake London, one of my biggest draft misses, and I will always say that the Nelson Aguilar thing. There was a string of USC wide receivers during the Chip Kelly era, Pac-12 wide receiver. I just unbiasedly hated them as an Eagle fan, and I thought Drake London was just another one of those classic. Will he be able to get separation at the next level? Wrong. He is very good. A very, very good football player. And I'll tell you what, honestly, the Drake Londons of the world have made me reconsider Mekhi Lemon, USC wide receiver, big name wide. He might be my favorite wide receiver in this upcoming draft class. And that is something I would not have said 3 years ago. I despised all USC offensive players. And I regretfully held that bias against Drake London when he was coming out. I thought that was a terrible. I wouldn't say I thought it was a terrible pick. I thought he was a solid player. But I did not have him as a top half of the first round type player. Very wrong. He is a very good talent. He's going to be him and Bijan. Those are for sure. If we're looking on the offensive side of the ball, I think we can throw Lindstrom in there. Maybe the Canadian Matthew Bergeron in there as kind of the pillars of our offense for this rebuild. But we got to figure out, can Kyle Pitts become that dude? We're going to get Caleb Gary back from injury next season, so that'll help out the offensive line. But he's Michael Penix, got to be the guy. Do we need to find a couple more wide receivers to put this offense over the top? Probably. When's Jake Matthews going to retire? Because when he does, we're going to be losing a very, very good left tackle. We have, on the defensive side of the ball, there's not much going on in that defensive line. You have Dorless, Ororo, who, it'd be nice for all those guys to go up dev trait, but if not, that's a limited ceiling defensive line room that we might need to overturn. The linebacking core is nothing too special. Ellis is solid, but he's pretty much at the end of his prime. We have Diablo. We have, obviously, Pink Slip legend Troy Anderson. But I think the linebacking core is probably going to need a little bit of an overhaul. And the secondary, unless we can get a Billy Bowman dev trait. Clark Phillips is another really nice corner, but he's out for the year, I think, with an injury. Both normal devs, I think, very similar to D-line. We have 2 D tackles that could become players. We have a couple corners that could become players, but we need to be prepared that there could be a lot of investment needed to be done on the defense and the offensive side of the ball to get this thing going. But big picture, what the hell do we do with Michael Penix? He's out for the year. I think we start with him, but I think that's going to be the plan. We got to maybe, with no first-round pick, say there's an interesting developmental quarterback, say second round, third round, fourth round, either in 2026 or 2027. That may need to be the move. But I generally have no idea. It might make the thumbnail. We might go with Michael Penix. But if we don't, you have your Carson Becks, your Garrett Nussmeyers, your Sawyer Robertsons, your Drew Allers, your Nicos. There's got to be options. And next year we also will have. Do we just say screw it and get Diego Pavia, who's kind of making a late season push here, IRL Heisman Trophy in that. But I mean, Nussmeier was one of those guys that was considered a first round player, and then obviously got hurt and played through some injuries, and LSU kind of sucked. Drew Aller was another guy that had some first round buzz. Like those could be, if the price is right. Even Nico, very very interesting developmental options. All right, we need to talk about some contracts. Salary cap situation for the Falcons. Again, we got Kirk Cousins, pretty terrible contract, so there's not a lot of money. So I don't think we're going to be able to get cute with Algier. Kyle Pitts, Ebiketie, Fuller, Ellis. Yeah, I mean, some interesting names, a lot of starters here. Like this Newsel guy's been a solid center. Bet you like for 2 years. If he takes that deal, that's fine. I also think, obviously, Kyle Pitts. I'm a Kyle Pitts guy. Kind of want Kyle Pitts locked in here for the rest of the rebuild. And I do think we're going to be able to make some moves to give us a little bit, like $16 million. I think everything here. I mean, in a perfect world, maybe Ellis on like a 1 year rental. But he is looking for a whole lot of money there. Especially if we knock that down to a 1 year. If I go like 1 year, 5, he's going to want more money. But like something like that. Yeah, no. I don't think it's, nope. All right, we got to find a linebacker. So the interview number 1, we go 6-11. I'm not going to lie, kind of won and lost the games I expected outside of the Saints. I thought we'd be able to finish with a win. And again, we're playing spoiler. I don't want the Rams to have a good pick. But 6-11, not great. But we did have a good rushing offense. We did have a good rushing defense. Really, it's a good defense outside of points allowed. I'll take that. If we can shave off and get that points per game into like the teens, I think in real life I'd probably move on from Raheem Morris. I think Falcons need kind of a waking up. But for Madden, I'm not ready to hit the panic button just yet. Bijan Robinson finishes as the second leading rusher in the league from a yard standpoint. Neither quarterback, they kind of look on par with one another. It'd be pretty cool if we can get Kirk Cousins' contract off the book to start this offseason. Bijan was incredible. Algier will go on and be a starter somewhere. From a receiving standpoint, Drake London, 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts was solid as well, almost 900 yards on 86 catches. That'll do. Bijan, just an absolute weapon out of the backfield. 574 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's a 2,000-yard player right there. Very, very special. On the defensive side of the ball, Caden Ellis. Again, I think in a perfect world, I could bring him back on a 1 year deal, but just don't have a great fun situation right now. Jalon Walker with 9 sacks, 7.5 from Brandon Dorlus, 6.5 from James Pearce. As long as this is not their ceiling, this is just the starting point. Very interesting. I mean, Dorlus on that normal dev, that could potentially get him up to a star. But I definitely will take 9 sacks for Jalon Walker out the get-go. And then also another big-time rookie, Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. A great value pick for this Falcons defense. Just under 100 tackles, but leading the team with 4 interceptions. And we get an award winner. We all, 2 great rookies right away, but only one guy can win it. And I would absolutely take the edge rusher in case we get that dev trade increase as well. Jalon Walker is your defensive rookie of the year. We were close as Bijan runner-up for running back of the year. Ooh, very, very nice. Jalon Walker, we get 3 upgrade points. As you know, the house rules in our realistic rebuilds to kind of negate some of the overpowered I can't control it XP is to make every player a scheme fit. So as you see right here, we're going to spend 3 points on the power rush. We might get 1. No, we did not even get 1 single upgrade to his base rating, which is fine because that's the reason for the house rule. But we are very happy because Jalon Walker gets a dev trade increase. Sick. Ooh, we get very good dev trade increase. We have Drake London at wide receiver. I mean, he had a hell of a year. You know what? I would say, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Yeah. That could be a dev trade increase. You also get one on our recently contract extended Kyle Pitts Sr. Love seeing that, man. He's, anytime we do a Falcons rebuild, there's always a side of me. It's like, I have to save Kyle Pitts. I have to make him what he should be. Offensively, we also get McGarry back at right tackle, so that's going to help our offensive line a little bit. And Jake Matthews didn't retire. And on the defensive side of the ball, Braden Dorless goes from Norm Luck to a star. Sick. Jalen Walker gets his dev trait. We lose the X factor on Jesse Bates, but we gain a superstar on the rookie Xavier Watts. So I'd say all things considered, I'll take that. That's a win. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to run this franchise correctly. Bijan, we're going to decline that fifth-year option and give him his bag next year. I'm going to try one last time. Caden Ellis, one-year deal, sir. No. Okay. Contract for life. Let's go, Keith. He's back. You already know. Putting the C on his chest. Might not ever see the field, but we're winning a Super Bowl now that Keith Taylor's on the squad. I'll be honest, going through this roster, there's not a lot of, fat that I would trim. I think, Hodge, it's about $2 million. I think I'd probably rather get out of that Mooney contract, just kind of going forward a little bit, but again, not brutally solid. Don't have to try to force his way off the team. It's really just, Kirk Cousins' deal, but we aren't going to be overly aggressive in free agency, I don't think, this first year. Unless there's something crazy that maybe we make a move. I think there's going to be value in, keeping him for the mentorship of both Michael Penix and if we bring in a quarterback this draft. Oh, yeah. Absolute dog shit for, kicker, Kelsey, Zeitler. Leo Chenal would be sick. We don't not need a, we could use a corner. Dax Hill, $25.79. Looking for $8 million a year. Might come back to that. Could use linebacker. We got Pace with a dev trait. Leo Chenal and the Kobe Dean. No, Kobe Dean. Could he? We signed him so many times. It would be cool to bring him back to Georgia, though. But Leo Chenal, he's only looking at $7 million a year. I think he doesn't have a lot of interest in our team, but I think I'd pay him $11, $12 million a year. Something like that. I don't know where that's going to put us in the race, but I think we throw our yeah, we're going to be way off. Outside of that, happy with the state of the O-line. Maybe, if there's another wide receiver, there's never a wide receiver in year one. Quarterback, add some competition. There's just nothing there. So, yeah, Leo Chenal, where are you going? Come to Atlanta? No. Okay. I think we just get right into the draft. We don't have a first-round pick. I have no idea who's going to be available. Our team needs would be, honestly, it's going to be BPA. If BPA ends up being a left tackle, that could succeed Jake Matthews. That could make sense. If it ends up being a wide receiver, well, that sucks because Carnell Tate and Kai Lemon would have been awesome. If it was a quarterback, Nussmeier would have been certainly someone I considered here. But now we got pick 39. Could also go linebacker. So at quarterback, whoa. Now I'd say if Drew Aller, Carson Beck, Nico, third round, fourth round, somewhere in that range, we could definitely consider. But I don't hate giving Michael Penix, one last chance, get healthy. Denzel Boston at wide receiver. We've yet to use Nick Harbor in a rebuild. Not much on the offensive line, to be honest with you. Good value at edge rush, but that is where we're absolutely golden. Xavier Harris, the big 6'7", 320-pound D-tack from Ole Miss, is a stud. Maybe Pyle. What do we got, linebacker? I scouted Barton. There could be some value there a little bit later. Middle linebacker, we have Barton from Michigan. Will linebacker, Perkins, York. Rodriguez. We got Kyle Lewis from Pitt. Value. You're fast, right? You're Penn State fast. You know, elites. I'm thinking Denzel Boston might be the play here. Do it. Give me a wideout. Give me a dev trade. 36 in true value. At 39, we get a dev trade. 6'4", 95 jumping. Would have been nice to get that speed into the 90s. But when you get like a 6'4", 210-pound, he does punt return. Should have maybe a little bit more athleticism, but that's a good get for us. I think long term. Boston on one side, London on the other, because we're probably going to try to get off Mooney's contract sooner than later. You throw in Kyle Pitts in the mix. We got a basketball team at wide receiver again. I think it's time to get our linebacker here. Kyle Lewis from Pitt. Pretty good. Was maybe a little bit better athlete, but this guy here, last like 2 years in college football, has just put up ridiculous numbers. We know there's value. We need a linebacker that can come in and start. 78 at pick 71, and we get a dev trade. Let's go. 91 acceleration. Again, it could have used a little bit better in the speed, but that's just getting a little greedy. It's unbelievable, dude. I should have traded up, but I was like, I'm going to get Drew Aller in the 4th round. I could do that. Ultimate project developmental quarterback. Psyche's got. We can get Nico. Day 3 talent. I think that's what we do. We'll grab Nico here. We'll see. 186 at 103. We get a dev trade. Holy shit. 97 throw power. What? Okay. All right, so take a look at our draft recap, and I think for not having a first-round pick, every player outside of Nico being a 70+. Now, we did kind of pad that late because I did need to add a kicker and punter. We got Trace Mack, 74, Thorson, 70. But Jesus, man, Nico, I don't know. I am not going to force this because, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if Nico really does it for like a thumbnail if he ends up being a stud. But if you use these draft classes just for a regular rebuild, you can work with that. Jesus. And if it doesn't work out with Michael Penix, we got some. Or if Michael Penix is solid and it comes time that he wants at like what will he be when his rookie contract's up? Like 27, 28? He wants like $100 and some million. Like Nico has a skill set. I'll leave it at that. Kyle Lewis in the 3rd round, 71 the depth trade. He will start as a rookie. Denzel Boston, 74 with the depth trade in the 2nd round. He will start as our wide receiver too. Well, I'll tell you what. Don't know what the future holds. I will say, after training camp, I put Nico in, the extra training. Not a huge difference between him and Michael Penix, but this is a motivated Falcons team after a disappointing year. We beat, Saints is a good matchup. But we get both offensive and defensive player of the week. Diablo gets it at linebacker, and Bijan with 250 yards and a hat trick of touchdowns. Hopefully that's just the beginning of this season. But we declined the 50 option on Bijan, so we're coming in early after a disappointing follow-up to a very impressive start, losing 24-10 to the Steelers, but we want to get ahead of that Bijan contract as fast as we can. Oof. Well, I think we get him in 5 years and just lock him up for the rest of his prime, but then we also have absolutely got to pay Drake London $85 million. So we'll go 6-year, 200. Oof. Jesse Bates, Bergeron, Clark Phillips is a starter for us. Diablo is a starter for us. Obviously, Michael Penix is going to be an interesting decision to be had. I think Diablo could probably walk. Phillips, what do we got? 52. Okay, let's get Bergeron. I don't think we're far away from Bergeron. I think all things equal, Jesse Bates on a 4-year makes sense too. Ooh, hold up. Speaking of Clark Phillips, this could be, we get a win over the Bears and a breakout scenario for a defensive back. Oh, it's A.J. Terrell. 5 tackles, 2 TFLs is, that seems a little difficult for a corner, especially one that's not a nickel. Okay, let's go with this bottom one. I guess I'd rather take 3 PBUs over 3 TFLs. And if we hit that, AJ Terrell will be a superstar X Factor. And man, we got to take this when we can get it. The amount of not dev trade scenarios that I'm getting in these rebuilds, kind of frustrating. Previous Maddens, Madden 23, Madden 24, you get breakout scenarios all the freaking time. Michael Penix with a 3-touchdown offensive player of the week performance and a win over the Bucs, and we kind of stunted on them a little bit. Maybe bringing in Nico, a little bit of competition that's better than Kirk Cousins is going to get him playing a different level. Ah, damn it. We unfortunately did not get... Wait a minute, what's this? Unselfish play, is it great? Okay, we got a nice little XP boost. We're on a 3-game lose streak. I mean, from almost every category, right? Penix is coming up in a contract year. I don't believe that QB of the future tag. We have, I mean, even then, both have the same QB of the future tag. Athletically speaking, advantage Nico by a considerable amount. He's the stronger quarterback. Arm talent by a considerable amount. From an accuracy standpoint, you know, obviously give up a little bit of ground there. But he's, what, 4 years younger? And I guarantee you give... It can't hurt. Now, I'm not saying Nico's going to be the quarterback. Again, I like to get guys that might do something from a thumbnail standpoint. But shocking with the skill set that he possessed. I think we got to at least give him a chance here. So let's see. We are down 3 points against Carolina. 3-5 against 2-5. Let's start with a little play action right away. Nico Iamaleava. I'm looking at the stats right now. Not terrible with UCLA. You know what I'm saying? This 5-star recruit was super hyped. Oh, no. Yeah, all right, there we go. Perfect first play. Perfect welcome to the NFL. Let's get used to this here. You know what? That just gives us a chance here to get a big shot play. Denzel Boston, what are you saying, rookie? Look, get a little bit of inside leverage. Big time grab. Head of the 2-minute warning. Followed up. What is this play? I can already tell I'm not going to like this fucking Falcons playbook. Hate plays that have so much motion before it. It's just like, I want to get to the line, and let's run it. Now I'm gonna totally points. I literally have actually a lot of times I'm like, oh, it's first thing in the morning, fellas. Haven't played. I literally have played Madden this morning. Okay, let's try this again. Come on, Nico. First start. I mean, weird things are gonna happen in your first start. How about that? How about put it on an absolute plate and Drake London 94 X Factor. That's a good ball. Can't bring it down. How about that? What the hell? Come on. Nico just can't take command of the locker room. Everyone's pissed off that he left Tennessee the way he left, and his teammates don't respect him. Is that what's going on? Because he used to throw and sleep in pajama pants. Look it up. People literally hold that against him that he plays in pajama pants. Doesn't love the game. How about that for Kyle Pitts? This is not the Kyle Pitts you know and hate if you're a Falcon fan. This is superstar to have Kyle Pitts. He's a different animal. All right, we're trailing the Panthers. Don't love that, but there we go. Defense got us in the red zone again. I like Bijan. I love running the football. The fuck are these plays? I want to throw it. Time to show off our quarterback. Thank you. Unbelievable. Hey, you want to go quarterback? All right, here's only run plays for your quarterback. I can just tell them. This playbook is disgusting. Denzel Boston. Hey, there we go. What Drake London can't do. Denzel Boston, the rookie out of Washington, can. Big time go-ahead score. 4 minutes to go. What can we do against the Panthers? End of game drive. Nico puts it away. And in his first career start, some ups and downs. Not like he came in through 5 touchdowns. But a win's a win to maybe steady the ship here. This is a team that, roster-wise, should be competing for a playoff spot. Love the fact that defense forced 3 picks on Bryce Young. 2 touchdowns and a pick from Nico. Not a brutal start. Let Bijan do the damn thing. Kyle Pitts played well. Got a couple sacks here. We got 3 picks on the day. Let's go, man. Nico gets an upgrade right away. And I just think the fact of the matter is, well, I upgrade from scheme fit as well, is that Nico's like 2 overall points less than Michael Penix. And Michael Penix is going to want $100 million. I think it's, I mean, look at that skill set, right? We get that accuracy up just a little bit, a couple more upgrades. He's better than Michael Penix. He'll be better than Michael Penix by the end of this year. All right, Nico's 2-2, but look at this. Offensive player of the week, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a breakout scenario. We're getting that with Michael Penix. Did get player of the week, but did not get a breakout. So let's see, man. Completions or 1 or fewer interceptions. Okay. Doable. Totally doable. Who are we playing? We got the Giants. Ooh, top 5 defense. Do we have any upgrades for Nico? Give him a nice little kick in the butt. Play better. We do have some nice upgrades, but nothing for Nico. Ooh, +3 for Kyle Lewis. What do you get that? Probably 75 tackles. 100 tackles. 15K XP almost. Let's see. We get... oh, shit. Well, you know, he needed completions and no picks. So you can hit that with only getting 16 points. Go up against the top 5 defense. Ooh, that's not an instant. Good job battling. Fuck off. Oh, man. It's probably what we needed, 20 completions. He played well. That would have been a little cheesy, though. Getting like a superstar dev right away. All right, so late year. We are week 18. We are 8-8. We are, you know, in a good spot. I don't know what happens if we lose. But we're coming off a big win over the Cardinals after a disappointing loss to the Panthers. But in this big win over the Cardinals, Nico with a 5-touchdown performance. AJ Terrell with a 2-pick performance. We might have our quarterback of the future. So we ended up losing to the Packers and still making the playoffs. Like, okay, nice. Divisional title at 8-9. No, we actually still lose out on the division, but make the playoffs. So, I mean, somehow had a tiebreaker over the Eagles and Cowboys. It's ugly, but a year 2 playoff berth, especially with the, kind of the quarterback situation, that's a win. Nico comes in 24 touchdowns to 4. Look at Penix. We pretty much won like half the year. Each got a half. Penix goes 18 touchdowns, 12 picks. 24 times. Oh, yeah, baby. We got... Fuck it, I don't even care if it tanks the video. We got ourselves a franchise quarterback here at Nico. Bijan crushed it, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. We got 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, Denzel Boston. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns for Drake London. Kyle Pitts is still an absolute weapon. Mooney was solid. Bijan was solid. Defensively, Diablo... of course, we're letting him walk because can't afford to pay. We'll probably go up dev trade. That is a whole lot of tackles, but I love Kyle Lewis. That's great. 126 tackles, 6 TFLs, a pick and a sack for the rookie. We got 9.5 sacks, James Pearce, 9 from Jalon Walker, 8.5 from Dorless, as well as 8 picks on the year for AJ Terrell. That should be getting him his superstar X Factor. Phillips had a really nice year as well. I think I'm not going to say regret. We might have to give him I wanted to give him a contract. He's definitely going up dev trade. We actually brought home quite a bit of hardware here this season as we get offensive rookie of the year going to Denzel Boston, Nico at number 3. And if Nico would have started all year, he absolutely would have ran away with that award. We get offensive lineman of the year going to Chris Lindstrom. We get linebacker of the year going to Diablo, who's a pending free agent. DB of the year goes to AJ Terrell. And our rookie kicker out of Florida, Trey Smack, gets kicker of the year. Nico breaks the single-season rookie touchdown record for the Falcons. Denzel Boston with, Julio Jones, Drake London, some really good wide receivers. Roddy White in the history of Atlanta that were, as a rookie, young player, In fact, Denzel Boston now holds all the records. Very impressive. Now, a tough draw here, man. Seattle is an absolute wagon in Madden 26 from the NFC side. They're as good as, like, the Eagles. They're as good as really any team you could run into the playoffs. Good offense, good defense. We're not even a 500 team. My expectations are nothing. I'd love to get a little road win, road dog victory with a rookie quarterback. All right, let's go. Come on, man. I like I make a lot of my content about, we're doing a redemption right now. I love redemptions. I love the Sam Darnold redemption. We're doing the redemption of Nico, who at one point in time was, couldn't wait to do a Nico rebuild. Reputation kind of hit the shitter after 2 not great years. So I like Sam Darnold. I love the vibes in Seattle, but also there's a side of me, come on, man. Are we going to lose to Sam Darnold? And right now, we are going to be full-on road dogs. What a rush. 21-7. Nico, in his first career playoff game as a rookie, taking the league by storm. Puts up almost 300 yards against a very good defense. Our defense forces Sam Darnold into 2 turnovers. Nico gets a rushing touchdown. The rookie Boston, the record-breaking rookie in terms of Falcon records, has a huge performance. Defensively, we got a sack from Dorless. We got 2 picks, Clark Phillips and Diablo. The 2 players that are probably, should I resign them? Looking for contracts. I mean, they're earning it. Oh, boy. Divisional round, we get Detroit. This is a pissed-off Lions team. Detroit's always tough. We played well. If you can play like that against Seattle, we could beat Detroit. But when you look at the ratings there, number 1 offense, almost top 10 passing, number 2 rushing, top 5 defense, number 1 rush defense. When we want to try to run the ball, Bijan, not a good matchup. But when you got the road dog vibes, you can go in and roll into Ford Field with Nico. Oh my God, opening drive score. Let's go, baby. Oh no, we're going to get a year 2 Super Bowl, aren't we? Just belt to ass road dogs. Legion of Doom style. Sunny in her prime Falcons right now. These are great wrestling references. Oh my God. So, if you're using sports gaming roster, downloadable draft classes, Nico's a monster. We got in round 3? Round 4? Somewhere in that range? Look at that. I mean, hey, we forced the turnover on Jared Goff. He does what he needs to do. Very efficient football. Bijan crushes. Nico's getting a rushing touchdown a game. Has good skill set to do that. Shadow Kyle Pitts getting to the end zone. Dorless with 2 sacks. Diablo with another pick. Linebacker of the year. That prices keep going up. And the Falcons in year 2, 8-9 in the NFC Championship game. We end up getting a pretty good roll. We get to avoid the Eagles. And, honestly, we're playing probably the other good teams to run into the NFC. Green Bay, Detroit, Seattle are constantly there. But, honestly, looking at it, Green Bay is not... They might be the worst of the 3 teams that we end up playing. And the Road Dogs continue here, going to Lambeau with a rookie quarterback. Kind of doing our own little Brock Purdy with the Niners situation here. Except our quarterback's not a game manager. All right, it's not snowing. Well, that's good. I mean, if it was a snow day, I might like our chances with Bijan. And with how Nico's running the football. But here we go. The Cinderella run, hopefully, will continue to the Super Bowl. We are moving the football pretty well. Hate settling for a field goal there on the opening drive. Knowing Green Bay has just got 2 touchdowns. We need tutties. And we're selling for field goals. Don't know why we're doing that. Come on, boys. Okay, 1-score game. Come on, Nico. Got a chance to go win in here. I'm not going to play, but we're going to go moment by moment. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. And we can force this thing into overtime. Start with a 2-yard run by Nico. But then something happens. Oh, but it doesn't matter. 25 yards, Drake London. Oh, another shot play. 20 yards, Kyle Pitts. Go backwards here for a second. A penalty on the Canadian. fine. Because we'll follow it up 22 to Denzel, Boston. Give him the greatest hits of our offense. Every player is getting it. 2 points. Come on, come on. I have to come in. I mean, I'm saying, like, I still there's a chance I might fuck this up. When we get this close, I gotta at least try and give our boys a chance here. Let's go. In overtime. What an effort. Might not matter in the grand scheme, but we got a chance. Overtime. We get the ball first. Punt. They punt. Field goal will win it. Let's slow sim here. Field goal will win it for the boys. 15 yards, Drake London. That's how we start this out. We then get 8-yard run by Bijan. Move the chains. We got Trace. We literally have kicker of the year. And we need maybe 10 more yards to be in his range, which we get 12 yards to Drake London. Let's just run it. Couple runs with Bijan. Kick the field goal. Let's win it. No fumbles. Nothing stupid. The Atlanta Falcons in year 2. Really, year 1 of a rebuild of us, like, trying to fix it. Cinderella run below 500 record with the rookie sensation Nico Iamaleava. Wow, man. Outduels Jordan Love. 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Drake London crushed it. Denzel Boston crushed it. Defensively, look at that, man. We're getting some sacks, some pressure on the quarterback. Didn't get any turnovers. Didn't really get any PBUs. But at the end of the day, we're in the Super Bowl. And we're going to earn it, man. We have the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We know what they are. We know what they bring. They're not as overpowered as year past, but still very, very good. But this is Super Bowl Atlanta. We are the rare occasion that the host city, the host team, is here. And if we're going to find a way, I mean, it sets the table for the most magic result possible. Surely, at home, in the Super Bowl, this Cinderella run can take down the final boss. And I know sometimes it's anticlimactic to win that Super Bowl early in these rebuilds, these 5-year rebuilds. But I think this is one of those rare instances that it'd be perfect to find a way with a rookie quarterback at home Super Bowl, and it's against these guys. We're not running into another feel-good store. We're not running into another team that you never see in the Super Bowl. We're running into the final boss, and we're kicking the shit out of them. They get a chance. They get that touchdown. Look like it's about to be 14 straight for Kansas City. Anybody's game here. Nice full drive here. Finish off with a touchdown. 21-14. Ooh. Okay, let's watch this defense. All right, don't love that. That's the refs helping them out. 2nd and 10, throw away. 3rd and 10, throw away. 4th and 4, Super Bowl on the line here for Mahomes and the Chiefs. And it's a turnover. Diablo, the linebacker of the year. And we are going. Let's come in and celebrate. Come on, set. 10 black. In year 2, in front of their home fans. Ready. Don't use your timeouts. Wow, dude. I think it goes without saying. Our most shocking surprise Super Bowl yet. And I knew, we all know, if you played any amount of Madden 26 franchise mode, Atlanta's not a bad team. They're not a bad rebuild team. They have a fun scheme. But this is something, like, what if we decide to stay with Michael Penix? What if we knew what we had with Nico, but we're like, let's give Penix a full year. He's healthy now. Are we here right now, lifting the Lombardi? Is the confetti falling red and white? Probably not. Also, if we fire, the coach, if we move on off of Raheem Morris, change the scheme up, change the system up, because, like, is Raheem Morris deserving of remaining the coach. Are we here? Probably not. So this went from a rebuild where I didn't really know what our team's identity was going to be. I didn't really know who our quarterback was going to be. We did not have a first-round pick in the last draft. And now, out of 2 years, with 3 years left, it has turned from a I don't know what to we need to make this thing into a dynasty. 28-21, Nico just, not running video game numbers, not running the score up, just super efficient football, playing like a 10-year vet. The rookie, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Bijan, 2 touchdowns on 7 years. Kyle Pitts, another player many would give up, especially, maybe if you're a Falcon fan, you rebuild, kind of sick and tired of it, you probably let him walk. No. Honestly, shout out Darnell Mooney. The forgotten guy at our wide receiver room. 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Defensively, pass rush, it wasn't really there, but that's so badass. And just look at the guy stepping up. J.D. Bertrand, 10 tackles in a TFL in the Super Bowl. Right? Darnell Mooney, 2 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. What a team, man. What a freaking team. And now becomes the real challenge. I think we got to get at least one more Super Bowl before we're done here today with our 5-year rebuild. They go ahead. We got a battle for Super Bowl MVP. I think we'd give it to Nico. But also, 2 rookies showing up. Kyle Lewis gets defensive player. Man, we got something going here. And now, might be able to trade Michael Penix or something to help us get something back in the draft. Jake Matthews just not retiring. You lose Kirk Cousins, which, he played a part. Keeping that mentorship tag certainly helped with the XP and growth and development in Nico's rookie campaign. But that is a huge bonus for us because it gives us that much more salary cap to probably throw at linebacker of the year, Diablo, veteran. Can't bring him back. He earned a new contract. Same with Phillips at corner. And from a dev trade standpoint, Denzel Boston was a star dev, but with that offensive rookie of the year award, where's it right? Right there. We get superstar. Kyle Pitts, he's up to an X factor. I'm not, he had a good year. I guess this is probably a little bit more so the rest of the tight ends had a down year, but he is now a superstar X factor. Sick. And we got him at a very, very reasonable contract extension. Defensively, we have, from a dev trade standpoint, A.J. Terrell, 8 picks, up to an X factor. Clark Phillips, hell of a year, and a contract year goes from normal up to a star dev. Jesse Bates, probably the only guy that's disappointed, but he's still 95. No worries. So with Kirk Cousins retiring, we have $104 million. And with no need to pay Michael Penix, we are certainly in a very, very good spot here to be aggressive. We're going to go 3 years on Clark Phillips, $25 million, not worrying about it. I also think Diablo, I hate a 3-year deal. I could get down with it 2 because he played so freaking well. We'll go like 5 and 6. That should be enough. 2-year, $22 million. Let's go. We reward our good players. So we'll be able to get even more cap space here. $6 million by moving off of Mike Hughes. Why we win 8-9, winning a Super Bowl. Why else do you think you want? Put the C on Keith Taylor's chest. He is as big a cheat code as you can find in Madden. So as we go into the offseason, as far as needs, we could get younger at tackle, but that's kind of just future-proofing a little bit. Competition at center, but again, from a free agent standpoint, we're looking pretty good. Wide receiver 3, I guess, with Darnell Mooney leaving in free agency. I do think we're going to be aggressive and going to try to move Michael Penix at the draft. But offensively, we're pretty good. Defensively, I think D-tackle. I think we could look at... that's probably it. Stud D-tackle with our top pick. Not a lot. I think we need to, maybe I view this roster a little differently. If we didn't just win the Super Bowl, because maybe winning the Super Bowl, I want to put faith in these guys that we currently have. But really, we're almost like in a BPA situation, which is great going into year 3. You don't have to spend if free agency kind of sucks, and free agency kind of sucks here. Looking for a wide receiver 3. We do have Rashee Rice. He's looking for $21 million a year. He is a superstar, Dev, but there's no interest. There's 7 other teams bidding on him. I think our money could be better spent elsewhere as far as tackles are concerned and center. Not a great market at all. What about defensive tackle? We got Quinnen Williams. Don't know the fact he lost his depth trait, but he is interested. The linebackers, looking at the DBs, looking at the C. I think we caught Quinnen Williams. Hit him with like that. I'll go right there. I'm not going to overpay. I'll go player-friendly 3-year deal. Where's that put us? Number 1? Oh, you fucking... Enjoy losing, you idiot. So I do think defensive tackle is going to be a big position, and we pick at 32. Big position for us. David Stone's going at 27. Whoa. Just a fucking course, dude. Of course. I want to watch it. Like, where's he going before? Is this just because I showed interest? Like, where's he going before this last mock? Okay, they're still okay. They're still going very high. Oh, Jesus, dude. Like, literally any other combo, I think like, if he was in the teens, I think I'd try to trade up. But, like, that's just going to be a stupid amount. And, like, D-tackle, once we get to next year's class, is one of the easiest positions to go find. So, that's great. You know what? Let them enjoy their high-round picks. We'll just stay put. Take a look at the board. See what other... Of course. Man, the 1 year I need D-tackle. They're all gone. Would have been a great year to... You know, if Nico didn't pan out, absolutely, I'll tell you right now, I would have went Arch Manning. Arch Manning's probably worth a rebuild. Mateer, maybe DJ Lagway, all those guys. A lot of interesting quarterbacks in this class. For us, a little of the wide receivers, we got Cam Coleman from Auburn, Kobe Lane, Ryan Wingo. We got some nice players there, but there's also some value in the day two. Nick Marsh, Mario Cravers had a huge year for A&M. If we want to look at like upside tackle, probably not going to get one here. Defensive tackle, we have Jaden Jackson is the top available. What do we got here? Ooh, a power move. Now, I don't love a 322, like, you know, built a little bit more like a nose tackle, only with 29 reps on the bench press. But I'm in with that A power move. Jaden Jackson, top 20 player, number 20 true value, pick 32, and we get a dev trait. Very nice. Not gonna lie, not overly familiar with Jaden Jackson. Look at the stats right now. 4 TFLs, 3 sacks for Oklahoma as a sophomore. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, ooh, another just freak that I love. I mean, 2 really good players. Just don't need them. Not with how Kyle Pitts is playing and at free. I mean, I guess at free safety, Jesse Bates has regressed back-to-back years, but he's still like a 95. And we just paid him, so we still like he's going to be here for the rest of the rebuild. So we can't go safety. There's still quarterbacks there. What do we got? A wide receiver. Braylon Staley, Tennessee. Ian Strong, Rutgers. Omar Cooper, Indiana. Trey Wilson. I don't know why Mensa is listed as a wide receiver. There is a bug that will have, like, I think he's actually still a quarterback as well. No, maybe not. Yeah, there is a bug. Sometimes you will see a quarterback listed at wide receiver. I don't know why. I don't really love the wide receivers here, though. Like, I think Trey Green. And then we move maybe Kyle Pitts. Like, I think that's the move. When you get a 6'7", 4'8" tight end, and you have pretty much the exact same thing, Kyle Pitts, you put one of them at slot. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Right? Why not? 26 in true value at 64. Yeah, I'll get the 6'7" freak of nature tight end, and I'll figure it out. Now, that is a severe overpay here. I'm late. Whatever team missed on a quarterback in the draft, 7th round, Michael Penix could be available. But seeing the Cardinals very interested in him, I'm going to take that trade offer. I'm going to modify it. Because I mean, I would take that every day of the week, honestly. But let's see if we could take that value and shift it more towards draft picks. You know what? I'm going to call it 2027 second instead of all that. I think that's a very fair compromise. We're able to make the business. There we go. Hopefully, doesn't go crushing for the Cardinals. I'm sure, knowing Madden, we're going to run into them in the playoffs at some time. Take a look at our draft recap. I'm really excited about how we can kind of get this offense looking. Ended up with a solid draft here. We get Mestamaker. He's kind of had a breakout for North Texas this season. We get Kawan Lacey. I actually thought there'd be a little bit higher rate. This guy's, 20 touchdowns right now for Ole Miss this year. Kayan Lee from Auburn, 69. We got Rojas, the very athletic linebacker from Penn State in the 3rd round. A little bit low on the rating side. We made got fool's gold there when I saw he ran, 4.40. But we get Trey'Dez Green, a 6'7" freak of nature weapon. And we get really the last kind of available D tackle, and he ends up being a 74 dev trait. I'm very happy with this draft. And we got that 2nd round pick for Michael Penix. So as we go defend our Super Bowl here, offensively, not a lot of changes, but we are going to go with this kind of like 2 tight end set with Green in the slot. So kind of interested to see how all that plays out, but the rest of it, offense should still play at a high level. Get a full year of Nico. I mean, based off how he played, I'm expecting a guy that honestly I wouldn't be shocked if he told me he had 40-some touchdowns this season. Defensively, we get a nice duty tackle here in Jackson. We bring back Diablo, reigning defending linebacker of the year. Love to see the sacks get up there. Haven't really been flirting with double-digit sacks too much. But this is an elite secondary. It's a great front 7. It's an elite Super Bowl winning offense. I'm not going to say it's still early in the rebuild. We don't have that super team. I'm like, we are going back to the Super Bowl. But I wouldn't put it past this team. At minimum, though, we need to make the playoffs to try to defend our Super Bowl title. Oh, yeah, we're rolling. We did lose the first game of the year, but we put up 45 on the Panthers. And then in week 3, we win against the Commanders. And it is Nico with almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Use these draft classes, you know what quarterback to get. You don't need Fernando Mendoza. You don't need Dante Moore. Give Nico a chance. All right, we'll take it. We'll take a look here mid-season. We're 4-2 defending our Super Bowl crown. It is another offensive player of the week for Nico. 4 touchdowns, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. And let's just get to some contracts. Who wants to be a part of a defending Super Bowl champ dynasty? We got Dorless. You know what? Like at that, I like the ups. Okay, I'll tell you right now. There we go. There's the cheat code. Here's the reason why we're in the Super Bowl. We're playing as well. Keith Taylor mentoring Nico, mentoring this whole team. Everything we do is because of him. I think Dorless interesting. Developed nicely, but also now that we're getting to Madden Generate classes, I mean he's homegrown. I'll give him because he's homegrown. I think if our budget was a little bit tighter, I could probably draft something a little better. Oh, and then the next week we win 48-0, and Nico's back here again. 5 touchdowns this time. So for a contract standpoint, we got almost $100 million. Salary cap is not going to be an issue in this rebuild. We can pretty much keep any and everybody that we want. We have our starting center, but I feel like that will be replaceable. We have Caleb McGarry, who honestly, I don't think a 1-year deal is the worst thing that could happen. I did set my focus scout this year to tackle, but if Jake Matthews retires, I don't think I'm going to be able to get 2 tackles that could come in and start. So I think if we can get McGarry here on a 1-year, it gives us cover because I have a pretty good feeling that Jake Matthews is going to retire this year. So at the end of year number 3, we go 12-5. We win our first divisional title, having the tiebreaker over the Bucs, so we get to win the NFC South there. We get the number 1 offense, a top 10 defense. Don't get the first round bye, which would have been perfect, but look at this, boys. Nico Iamaleava, 52 passing touchdowns, 2nd in yards, 1st in touchdowns. We've used Dante Moore in a rebuild. We've used Lenore Sellers in a rebuild. We've used Julian Sayin in a rebuild. We've used Fernando Mendoza in a rebuild. And little did it take Nico Iamaleava. At one point in time, this was 2 years ago, he'd be a premier rebuild. He'd be front and center. He'd be the guy that we'd have to... But after, an up and down year at Tennessee, after going and transferring a saga to UCLA, Like, his draft stock has never been lower. And here he is being far and away the best realistic rebuild quarterback we've used to this date. And some of it obviously will come down to the Falcons scheme. This Falcons scheme is juiced to the gills. But when we drafted him, we're like, holy shit, like, an incredible skill set. And he started this year. He was still like I think he was a 78. Started this year up to an 87. I just can't stress enough, man. We plug these rosters, sports gaming rosters. And if you need a quarterback and you don't want to use one in the first round, or if you need a quarterback and you have the first overall pick, get this guy. This is a very special player. That's incredible. Bijan crushed it. He also had 5 rushing touchdowns as well. So that's 57 touchdowns. And a Super Bowl under his belt. We haven't had any quarterback that's even in the same stratosphere as what we've got from Nico. A perfect scheme fit for the Falcons, I guess. 2,000-yard receivers, Drake London, 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. Denzel, Boston, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. And then our 2 tight ends, which, even though we're just, glorified receivers. Kyle Pitts, 800 yards, 11 touchdowns. And Trey Des Green, the 6'7" freak of nature from LSU, 883 and 6 touchdowns. Oh, and one more thing. He's a superstar dev. So we throw the superstar dev in with the fact that Denzel Boston's a superstar, and Drake London's an X factor, and Kyle Pitts is an X factor, and Bijan's given us great production out of the backfield. Like, this probably is like the best sim offense I've seen to get running backs production in the past game. Just disgusting. Like, we might need to win 2 Super Bowls to close this thing out. Oh, how about this as well? We get Devon Diablo, who could have, his production could have fell off a cliff at that age. He was linebacker of the year last year, still playing at a ridiculously high level. Then, we just got James Pearce out of nowhere. 17.5 sacks. I don't think he's got double digits yet. Jalon Walker with 9.5, 6.5 for Brandon Dorless, 5.5 for the rookie Jaden Jackson. Our interception numbers took a little bit of the hit. We had, 8 picks a year ago with A.J. Terrell, now down to 1. That may cause a little bit of a dev trait regression. But still, generally, INT numbers are solid. But everything else, man, incredible year. One of the best straight-up box score sim seasons we've had. Probably the best in any of our realistic rebuilds to this date. Nico runs away with NFL MVP. Just an awesome story, man. This is stuff that couldn't blueprint, couldn't write on an Excel sheet, try to figure out and try to plan as a storyline. You either have it or you don't have it, and he has it. Also gets Offensive Player of the Year. Also gets Quarterback of the Year. We have for Offensive Rookie of the Year going to Trey Des Green. I don't know who's stopping this Falcons team. Nico this season has set a Falcons passing yard and passing touchdown record. We have Drake London setting a touchdown record. James Pearce setting a sack record. And now we look to go defend our Super Bowl crown. We got to run the gauntlet, though, in the wildcard round against the 11-6 Chicago Bears. They have a pretty damn good defense, good rushing offense. But at the end of the day, buzzsaw, man. We are an absolute buzzsaw. Let's go, home team. Last year were the road dogs. Maybe there was something to it. If we play a little bit different at home. But I don't see it, man. Our offense is literally unstoppable. If we have to run, we have the best running back in the league. If we have to pass, we have the MVP. And just a basketball team of receivers. And defensively, top 10 defense. Maybe our yards against aren't, not an elite rating by any means. But our secondary is ridiculous. We have literally a linebacker of the year on our staff, and our pass rush, James Pearce and Jalon Walker, is outstanding. And I think it's going to be a lot of this, a lot of ass kicking, 24-6 to start off how we defend our Super Bowl crown, absolutely shutting down Caleb Williams and that passing offense. Nico was great, the run game was great. Shout out the rookie Trey Des Green, almost 100 yards in his playoff debut, 2.5 sacks by Brandon Dorless. We're rolling. All right, it's good. See where we're at. See how really good we are. Get the birds. Battle of the birds. But, the offense is pretty good. Got a lot of green on the offense, but the defense, I don't know if that defensive ratings, I know they got the talent, but I don't know if those ratings and that form is going to stop Nico. Let's go. Come on. Just marching down the field. Wish that was a field goal. Wish that was a couple field goals worth of points, but we settled for the field goal. And now we are trailing. Low-scoring game. Offense needs to wake up. I mean, this is an Eagles team. Has a lot of playoff experience. More than us. So now we're going to see, man, back against the wall. Nico gets us a touchdown when he needs to. Our defense is going to have to get us a stop here at some point. Oh, no, it's not looking good. I'm going to come in on 4th and 5 and just see if I can get a shot play here. The spark. I mean, we've already got our Super Bowl, so I don't have a lot of issue with, hopping in and trying to influence the game, especially if it's just going to be, can I show off my 90, I don't know what he's at right now, 98, 97 throw power quarterback. Shut up! Kyle Pitts running, Denzel Boston, let's go, gets behind Reed Blankenship. An exciting way, that's a bad matchup there. Can we get a defensive stop and get the ball back? Unfortunately, we cannot. We get humbled by the Philadelphia Eagles. And I will shift my perspective again. I was thinking, oh man, we should win a couple more Super Bowls. Let's not get greedy. We got year 4, year 5. I think with this team, especially seeing how Nico played this year in the sim, and I don't think there's going to be any weird regression, we need one more. So they look at our squad. It's terrifying. There's no other way to put it. Nico makes the jump after winning MVP. There was a chance maybe to get double, like get a dev trade based off his stats, get a dev trade based off of his, awards and accolades and stuff like that. And weird, just weird, man, real weird, right? So we get MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Quarterback of the Year, NFL Passing Leader. We only get the one dev trade. I'm not gonna get overly greedy. Right? But then, what's this regression? Just randomly, he's, deep accuracy, throw the rod, mid accuracy, takes hits. Why is he taking a -2 to his deep ball Super Bowl week, right? That's weird. But then, obviously, we had a whole bunch of upgrade points here to kind of balance things out a little bit. It's weird, right? Definitely weird. Offensively, we do have the retirement of Jake Matthews, so it made a whole lot of sense to re-sign McGarry. We're going to need a center and a left tackle in the draft. Trey'Dez Green, who wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, gives us yet another superstar X Factor on the offensive side of the ball. So we are operating with Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Denzel Boston, Kyle Pitts, and Green, all as X Factors. Now, I mean, obviously you can only have 3 active at once. Still pretty terrifying what we've been able to build on this offense, especially when you look at them, 6'6", 245, 6'7", 250, 6'4", 220, 6'5". It is honestly kind of scary. Even we're size queens here on the offensive side of the ball. Pause. Defensively, Jackson was our big D tackle. We needed a D tackle, just regular. We lose the X Factor on AJ Terrell. Every other dev trade kind of remains the same. Oh, wait, no, Kyle Lewis. He's up to a superstar. I'm going to tell you right now, maybe there's a little bit of a cheese trick here. But if there's a linebacker that you really want to go up dev trade, I don't know why. Maybe I could assume why. Because there's not a lot of Sams, and their dev trade progression is going to get based kind of like tight ends, where it get compared to other Sam linebackers. And not a lot of teams run Sam linebackers. But if you move whatever linebacker you want to grow and develop the best, make him just a Sam. You can still play him wherever you want in the depth chart. You still can make one of your sub linebackers that gets on the field, gets all the tackles. Sam linebackers get very good dev trade roles. I'll put that. I mean, Kyle Lewis had a hell of a year. Deserve it. But I think the biggest thing, the biggest travesty, is James Pearce Jr. had 17.5 sacks. Finally putting it all together. No dev trade. Makes the Pro Bowl. No, just brutal on that front. But yeah, we get the retirement of Jake Matthews, an all-time great for the Falcons. Retires at least with a Super Bowl under his belt. Because we don't really have to deal with it, we will just decline the 5th-year option on Jalon Walker. And we'll decline the option on James Pearce just because we're a well-run organization and we pair good players. Just to reiterate, we need a left tackle. We need a center. I think from finding a receiver, I think I like the Pitts and Green. I think that's going to be our way forward here. Viewing this as we still have 2 years left of this rebuild. I mean, McGarry's only on a 1-year rental, so we could technically get 2 tackles this year, just to kind of future-proof the position. We're 2 deep here at D tackle, which we're good. I like our secondary. Even Billy Bowman. I mean, there's no dev trait there on Billy Bowman, but he's on a rookie contract, almost an 80 overall, perfect scheme fit. I don't think that's a position I need to run. But, if we want to be, Ballin'. If there's a nice corner upgrade here, maybe in free agency, we could take a look there. Linebacker, Diablo and Lewis. We could get a younger linebacker. Diablo is, has regressed a little bit. I think we're pretty good at edge. We're pretty good at safety. So, yeah, third corner, linebacker, B tier needs, A tier very much is left tackle and center. All right, let's get a little look-see here. Free agency. Ooh. Jahmyr Gibbs hitting the market. We just say screw it and be like, hey, let's just see what happens. For us, a tackle. Whoa! Okay. And there's interest. I'm going to round up both these numbers. That'll be our offer. Still, honestly, could go tackle. We're right there with the Rams, but come on. Come on. Come play with, like, the freak of nature offense. So you know what? You know what I will do? I'm going to give him I'll go very player-friendly, and I'll round this up to 25. I'll give him literally our best offer because we have so much money. We literally have so much money, I don't think I can spend it. So we're now first place there. Love it. At center, yeah, we'll probably have to look at the draft for center. But, yeah, even with, like, our focus scouting at left tackle, if get Joe out, that's sick. We still could go tackle. McGarry's on a one-year rental. And getting a tackle that we can just focus train all year to start in year 5 would not be the worst idea. Vita Vea is a mercenary type. Could be kind of cool. Not a lot of interest there, though. I don't want to overpay, even though the salary cap's not an issue. And we're looking at linebacker. We do have Edger and Cooper. So the thing is, like, see where like a player-friendly deal puts us. I don't want to overpay, right? Like I'm perfectly fine. I don't want to step on the toes of Diablo, who's been a very good player for us. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's see where I really want Joe Alt. That'd be nice. We're first place for both. We literally have the most impressive team in the NFL. None of these guys pick us. They're absolute haters. We get both. That is awesome. So as I stated, our focus scouting was tackle. There is a actually legit stud. The number 1 overall pick is projected to be a tackle. As far as value outside of that, though, nothing much at left tackle. I do like the look of this guy, though. Forrest Horton out of Washington, 63. So that's fallen, very much on the line of a second, third round pick. For him to be graded out first, second round, that'd be juicy. We need a center. So let's just take a little look-see here. B pass block. Well, we don't know there. B, C, D. Got the A here on Madsen. So we'll take a look at Madsen. And I mean, we might as well look at the top 2, just because we may be able to shift our first round pick to center now if one's somehow like a top 5 talent or something like that. So we'll sit right here. Keep it live. Secondary needs. I mean, we don't really have them, to be honest with you. Come on. Give me a juicy center. Give me a top 5 talent center. Well, look at that. Way down here. That's probably our guy. I would have blind picked him anyway because he had a pass block. So with a big 27 in the first round, I think that tackle's going to be our guy. The value right tackle, assuming he's still there. Forrest Horton, 6'7" out of Washington. Hey, for all the kids out there. Double A's, C pass block, B run block. First and bench press. Yeah, checks out. Doesn't look like us. I'd say maybe there's a chance he's a decent rating. No dev trait, potentially. 38th in true value at 27, so not actually crazy value, but he does have a dev trait, and he is going to be an understudy to Caleb McGarry, so he'll be our starter in year 5. Second round, I like the athletic profile here of this linebacker. He's poor. He's the fastest linebacker available. Zach Day. I mean, we're really just kind of looking to cover across the board. Yes, we get Edger and Cooper in. But, like, is Kyle Lewis going to be a guy we want to pay? Oh, come on. But when you got 2 second-round picks, it's kind of luxury there. You can take a swing. Let's not overthink this, man. We need a center. We know there's one good center left. Dylan Madsen, the A pass block center out of Alabama. 34 and true value at 59. And there's our dev trade. Now, the one element of our offense that we don't really have is speed, and this is the fastest player remaining. And the fact that he's the fastest, got good speed, 4.3 speed, and B, deep route running, C release, looks pretty good. Cooper Tuttle, Georgia, local guy, 99 at 91, right on the line for value there. Damn, oh dev. All right, we got B run block here on a guard, best guard remaining. Scheme fit as well, agile. Like, usually it's kind of rare to get late round linemen that aren't power. Like, guys are like 330 pounds. So this looks like really good value. 61 at 123. And there's a dev trait. Very nice. Don't hate me. Nose tackle cheese. Very good athlete. Chip Knox. There's a couple. Honestly, this might be our first of a couple swings at some nose tackles. But Chip Knox, Oklahoma State, looks pretty good. Got the A thrown in there, and there you go. A top 25 player in the class with a dev trade. So to start the offseason by getting Joe Alt and Edgerrin Cooper, we're just getting a lot of the best we've had in this rebuild, right? We're getting the best sim numbers we've had in a rebuild. We're getting the best free agents we've probably been able to get in a rebuild. Then we just followed up with this class. Got a couple jobbers here late, but look at that. Knox, 76 dev trade. Gamble, 73 dev trade. Scheme fit. Knox, scheme fit. Tuttle, 71. Normal dev, whatever. Add speed. That's a profile we wanted. We were chasing a profile, not necessarily like a high ceiling guy. We get Madsen. Need a day one center? Well, no worries. In the second round, 75 dev trade. Day looked good. No dev trade was a wet fart. I'm not going to lie. I thought he'd probably be a little bit worse than a 73 overall. So that's some great depth at linebacker. And then we get Forrest Horton. Absolute just snipe show from our scouting. 75 with a dev trade. He's going to be an understudy this year at that right tackle position. Just a little curious. I mean, we have an outstanding class. Oh, yeah, this was a good year. Couple guys in the 80s. 82 tackle. A Joe Thomas type, if you will. 81 running back, 81 tight end, 81 tight end, 81 wide receiver, and an 80 defensive tackle. And hell, there's even a good quarterback in this class. Damn. So mid-season, we're 4-4, but the good news is back-to-back weeks, we have lit the scoreboard up. We're coming out a win over the Raiders where Nico goes for over 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. So that's pretty scary. And hopefully that just rolls into form there because 4-4 is pretty damn disappointing to be at mid-season. $135 million, so any and everybody can stay. And we got 1 year left of this rebuild, so we'll get Terrell back on a 1 year. And we might as well just get ahead of this. We'll give a very player-friendly deal here to Jalon Walker. 73.5, he turns it down. But 75 gets that across the line. Xavier Watts been another. Wow, these guys trying to take us to town here. 17.5 sacks last year for James Pearce. We get him locked in. And we're not too far off on Walker and Watts. I think Lidstrom needs to stay here. Needs to retire as a Falcon. I mean, we got McGarry's replacement, so we're good there. We have Diablo's replacement, so we're good there. I think, maybe keep Billy Bowman. We'll see if he takes that. Okay, yeah, nice. We'll get Billy Bowman. We'll get Walker and Watts across the line. Probably won't have any money to spend in free agency, but we're coming off here. We get Joe Alt and Edgerrin Cooper. We're probably not going to need to hit the open market anyways. So after starting 4-4, we go 11-6. That's a hell of a way to end the year, but still, I mean, think for the talent that we have on the roster, for all those green rankings, 11-6 is a little disappointing, but we get the 1 seed somehow. A down year in the NFC. We get our second straight NFC South title. Nico, very good. Bijan, very good. Drake London, elite. Nico, 41 touchdowns, second in the league. 50 probably wasn't. I think it's good. I think if we got 50 every year from here on out, we wouldn't appreciate when you get an above 50 bomb. 41, that's still excellent. Bijan, excellent. Nico with 5 rushing touchdowns. So that's just, excellent. From a receiving standpoint, we get our 2,000-yard receivers. Drake London, 1,600 yards on 113 catches and 20 touchdowns. And that's kind of like a mix of, I had him in the slot a little bit, had him outside a little bit. 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns for Denzel. Boston, our 2 insane tight end look. Just, unstoppable, man. Again, 6'6", 246. 6'7", 247. 6'4", 210. 6'4", 213. Terrifying. I don't know how you stop it. Defensively, James Pearce, he better not get robbed out of a dev trade again. This guy has, 34 sacks over the last 2 years. Stop robbing him. And, it's been a grind. He'd probably be a 90 if we didn't have our house rules, because I've been pumping in all our points into run stoppers, and it's kind of like every other upgrade is not going towards his overall because of this long grind, but he's not, I'm going to put the C on his chest. He's been better than Jalon Walker, and Jalon Walker got a superstar dev early for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year way back in year 1. It's been solid, but very, very Shocking if we don't get another dev trade here for James Pearce going into year 5. 11.5 for Jalon Walker, his most productive year. Other sacks are fairly solid. Wish AJ Terrell would drop another, 8, 9 interceptions on the year. Damn, weren't able to go back-to-back. Nico, 3rd place in MVP voting. Drake London gets Offensive Player of the Year and Wide Receiver of the Year, and we get Nico getting Quarterback of the Year in the NFC, which is good. I mean, we got to get him up to an X factor. Fun matchup here in the division round. We get the 10-7 Dallas Cowboys, 87 across the board. No green ratings, but they're still the Cowboys, so got to be prepared. It'll be interesting to see, man, we can get back on our wagon here. I want to see no close games. I don't want to see long drives end up in field goals like we just saw. I want to see touchdowns. I want to see ruthless consistency out of our team, offense and defensively. Defense showing up, offense. Well, we do get first touchdown of the game. It's going to be a low-scoring grind. The Dallas Cowboys have figured out their defense post Micah Parsons finally. But it's going to go down, man. 1 score, 4th quarter. Points here would be huge. We get the touchdown. Dallas scores right away, but there's not going to be enough time. And we win a close one at home. The 1 seed does not choke. 24-16. The Falcons get the dub here. We got pretty good game from Nico. Nothing crazy. Both quarterbacks were very solid. Our run game, we got 2 touchdowns there from Bijan. Defensively, I feel like that's kind of where we've been lacking. Even the year we won the Super Bowl, we haven't had those standout defensive performances. It's kind of been all on the offense, which is refreshing because our last couple rebuilds that we have won Super Bowls, it's been more so the defense that's been carrying the load to a title. But yeah, hey, win's a win. A big upgrade here off the win. We finally got Nico into a field general scheme fit. I guess we got to run through the NFC East. We get the New York Giants in the NFC Championship game. We have a much better roster on paper, but they have played very well. A great scheme they got cooking up there. The number 4 offense, a top 10 defense. Yeah, looks like on paper anyway, the 2 best teams in the NFC meeting for a chance at a Super Bowl. Come on, Nico. Don't lose to scat. Dart and scat. All right, opening drive score. I mean, Giants have been good. Like, they weren't always good. I feel like over a roster update happened and made the Giants very annoying in Madden. Jesus Christ. Come on. No chance, man. No chance at all. Belt to ass. We just got belt to ass by the fucking Giants, man. No way. Both quarterback. I met you with Scat, man. Cam Scatabo. Like, I'm even seeing it like in our Raiders franchise. Like, if Ashton Genty's not first in rushing, it's Cam Scat. And I'm not gonna. That's not gonna be a complaint. You're never gonna hear me complain about Cam Scatabo being cheesy in the sim. Okay, God bless. God bless for the brand. But God fucking damn it, man. I said we had to get 2 Super Bowls here in this rebuild, and now we're kind of. It's like dynasty or bust going into year 5, trying to search for that second one. This is a bad out, man. We should have been able to handle business. Giants suck. We're in someone else's rebuild, I guess. The Browns have gone off and won the Super Bowl. At least the Giants don't win. But, man, this was a hell of a year. Feels very wasteful. Really, the last 2 years for how well this team has played to not have a Super Bowl. Or at least a second Super Bowl. Hey, well, we played very good. Could not have played it any better. Caleb McGarry retires, drafted his successor in the first round a year ago. So take a look at our team going into again, dynasty or bust, if you will. On the offensive line, we had Madsen and Horton as our 2 rookies. Both weren't scheme fits, so that's why Horton's only gone up like 1 overall, because I've been putting all the points in. That's probably the worst thing. The most annoying thing with this house rule is linemen, because a lot of times their power, and I can't remember the last rebuild I had where the offense had, from a scheme standpoint, they needed power linemen. So Madsen here, I mean, again, it's the house rules. That's why none of our linemen here are scheme fits outside of Bergeron, and it's only Bergeron because he's been here for a minute. We've been pumping those points in since the beginning of the rebuild. But we don't have a single need going on the offensive side of the ball. We are good to go for this offseason. We don't have a lot of money because we spent it all last year. Knox, ooh! Chip Knox is a superstar, or did he gain that? He got it. Okay, sick. Drafting a superstar defensive tackle. Probably push him up the depth chart there a little bit. Or makes maybe Dorless an interesting trade piece. But let's get the superstar here on the field. Kyle Lewis goes... Hey, Kyle Lewis must be getting the depth traits that James Pearce can't. 34 sacks in 2 years. James Pearce... Nah, no depth trait. AJ Terrell loses his superstar. Maybe corner. I get, like, maybe just see if we can get, like, a corner with abilities. Other than that, I mean, I'm ready to run it back with this team again. Ooh. Said I need a corner. Top player available is a corner. Jackson Dart, Mika Ibuka. Some very interesting names that you don't tend to see. But I do think, I mean, this could be it. This could be a game changer going into year 5 Super Bowl bust. I don't have to worry about the salary cap implications here. Let's see what Nate Wiggins can do. Go to our final draft. Treating this just like a regular rebuild. Where would be the next position of concern? It would be for Jesse Bates at safety. So I scout the top safeties in this class. Did not get anything here at free safety, at strong safety. I literally got a projected UDFA. You know how I like to blind pick. Saw the B-man here on Nate Kuehl. Not great. So Donatello Clement. I mean, that's a sick name. Donatello. All right, Ninja Turtles. Let's go. Looks solid. I think if I had more report, I'd like to get Church as well. Just because if that's like a B zone coverage, I love the 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle here. I may take a gamble here at the mystery surprise box, unless there's like a crazy good corner that has A tackling. Like, can we get? I mean, that's going to be available. Look at that. We got the UDFA's. Ugh. I mean, Will Bullock looks pretty good. Jesus. Gee, where's this guy going? I don't even need a corner by bringing in Nate Wiggins, but if this guy's going like out of the top 10, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's call Buffalo. Final year. I just want to see what that guy looks like. All right, we're able to make it happen. First, second round pick this year, third round pick next year, and because we're coming out to get a DB, we had to send Billy Bowman. It's been a nice success story, late round pick for the Falcons, developed into a very nice starter. But when you have an opportunity to get, just incredibly tempting player that's available here in Mr. Bullock. If I'm blind picking, double A's in press man, B zone, B catching, 6'3", first in the 4. I mean, the 3-cone 20-yard shuttle, the agility and stuff like that could be a little bit better. But I think this guy gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna say, like, right now, blind 70, 79 dev trait. Okay, maybe higher. Maybe higher. Because a running back went second overall, and usually when running backs go very high, they're in the 80s. I feel pretty good about this one. 6'3" with 97 speed. Good God. All right, let's go. Come on, drum roll, drum roll. My 79 dev trait would be my prediction. 81, let's go. He's getting on the field. All apologies to Clark Phillips. Been a great servant to this program. Great development, undersized corner out of Utah, ball hawk at college. It's been solid. But you don't make a trade and draft a guy like this and not let him get on the field and see what kind of impact you make. Will Bullock, that's definitely one of the best DBs we've drafted so far in any rebuild. Gotta go see that running back. Yeah. Wow, 77. That's a little rich for the second pick. Usually doesn't make a big mistake there. But we got far and away best player going to a Super Bowl contender in the draft. LaRich, get richer. Here be our corner room. We have Terrell, Nate Wiggins, Will Bullock, Phillips, and of course, the best DB on this team by a mile, Keith Taylor. All right, here we go. Year 5. Dynasty or bust. Really, really need to capitalize with a team this good to get 2 Super Bowls. One is leaving a lot of meat on the bone. Offensively, we know where we're at. Nico now an X Factor. Bijan, Drake London, Denzel Boston, Pitts, and Tradez Green. Terrifying. The offensive line across the board. Headlined by Lindstrom, Joel, and Bergeron. This is one of the best rebuild offenses we built so far in our realistic rebuilds. Defensively, maybe lacking a little bit on the abilities. We only have one X Factor here. At least it's homegrown in Kyle Lewis from Pitt. Defensive line looks solid. Front 7. I mean, the linebackers were going to be Edgerrin Cooper and Lewis primarily. Jalon Walker and James Pearce. I mean, for the investment, reason why we didn't have a first-round pick in year 1 of this rebuild, because I gambled that these two pass rushers would be their guys. Absolutely have been that, both with double-digit sacks last year, and somehow, even though, don't let the silver dev trait fool you, James Pearce, 34 sacks the last 2 years. Watts has developed into a great player. Bates is always reliable. Terrell reliable. We bring in Nate Wiggins in free agency. Clark Phillips. We get an absolute stud in the draft. And, of course, Keith Taylor. Come on, baby. Get that second Super Bowl. So at the end of year number 5, we put forth our best regular season effort yet. Finished with the number 1 offense, top 10 defense. We go 15-2. We are back-to-back 1 seeds. We win our 3rd divisional title. Not particularly close. Far and away the best team. But definitely eyes on the Eagles and Giants. Maybe a little revenge opportunity. Nico, another 50 bomb. Look at Drake London as well. Whoa, someone had more than 50 touchdowns? Is it the Giants guy? No. Is it Joe Burrow? No. Is it Patrick Mahomes? I knew we'd find it eventually. But hell of a year by Nico. Maybe a little higher on the interceptions than what I would like, but I'm not going to complain. A 50 touchdown season. And I think it's the fact that we've been able to throw the football and put up pretty ridiculous pass numbers, and Bijan still eating in this rebuild. Drake London, insane. Insane. Didn't get 2,000-yard receivers, though. It was just all Drake London. Defensively, though, we got 10.5 sacks, Edgerrin Cooper, 12.5 Jackson. Whoa, okay, those sacks are kind of weird. Kind of weird numbers, but across the board, still pretty good numbers. But what a season at Edgerrin Cooper. Love seeing 3 picks for Terrell, but Jesus, that might be the best Mike season we've had in a sim. 153 tackles, 12 TFLs, 10.5 sacks, 5 picks, 7 PBUs. Jesus. Wow. Wow. Raheem Morris does get his first Coach of the Year award. Drake London wins Offensive Player of the Year and Wide Receiver of the Year. Edgerrin Cooper wins Defensive Player of the Year and Linebacker of the Year. Shout out Nico for finishing up with another Quarterback of the Year award. More importantly, shout out Drake London for breaking the touchdown catches in a single season record. Since actually in this reel, Micah Parsons has a new sack record. We also have, Jesus, where the hell the quarterback of the Raiders is, breaking the passing yard record. Something I do want to start adding in our rebuilds is looking at like this and seeing what players in our rebuilds have accomplished, because we are going to look at the stats. Bijan is now the all-time career leader in rush yards and rushing touchdowns for the Atlanta Falcons. Drake London, the leader in touchdown catches. And from a single season standpoint, we have James Pearce with the 17 sacks last year. Drake London with the 27 touchdown catches this year. Then we got, Nico, all-time season in yards and touchdowns. Suck it, Matt Ryan. More career stats and what these players have been able to accomplish in the rebuild. Nico, oh man. I know we're only going to come back and rebuild the teams that we didn't get Super Bowls, but this would be a fun team just to kind of seal up the career of Nico, how well he's playing. 16,000 yards passing, 167 touchdowns, 30 picks in 3 years. Without a doubt, the most productive quarterback we've got. And of course, it wouldn't be, a Fernando Mendoza or someone that would do big click numbers. It's a guy that's kind of regarded as, I wouldn't say he's a bust, but he'd be a guy that if he did declare this year, he'd be like your Spencer Rattler. Of like a guy that had like a lot of hype, talent still there, but is he ever going to put it together? Ends up being pretty crazy. Running the ball, we're just under 10,000 yards rushing for Bijan Robinson and 71 touchdowns. He's still on a Hall of Fame pace. Receiving, we got 10K and over 100 for Drake London. Shout out. Kyle Pitts, 6,700 yards, 45 touchdowns. Love seeing that. Denzel Boston, Bijan, Trey'Dez Green, all those guys were really, really solid as well. Defensively, we got over 1,000 tackles for Jesse Bates. On the sacks front, 59.5 from James Pearce Jr., 48.5 for Jalon Walker. Dorless with 28.5. And on interceptions front, 31 Bates, 22 A.J. Terrell. Watts, 13. Wiggins, 13. Oh, and I suppose while we're here, Bullock, the corner that we were very aggressive. Didn't get any picks, but he was a superstar dev and ends his rookie season as an 86. Ready to contribute and be a vital part of this defense as we look to get our second Super Bowl here. So we get in the division round, a 10-7 Rams team that are pretty well built across the board. 88's not too shabby. What we have here at Atlanta is very special, but they have a top 10 offense, almost top 5 passing offense, top 10 rushing defense. But on paper and how they play, this one should be a comfortable win at home for the Falcons. And not saying I'm going to force the win, but I think with the state of, we've already got our Super Bowl and how good this team is, if things look dicey, I think we'll hop in. This ends up being like a weird, like, oh, we haven't even got across midfield type games. And really, at any point during this playoff run, we will have to maybe interject a little bit. I'd love for our team just to, the proof is in the pudding. We've built a sim team that can dominate, but there's also the element we've already proven that this team can do that. So why not get a little gameplay hop in and enjoy the spoils of how well we have built this freaking super team. So we're going to come in here at 1st and goal. Already game in hand. Let's go slant. Let's get the big 6-7. Trey Des Green. Boom. Quick release. Easy touchdown between the linebacker and the nickel. Boom. Crushing it. Now, Rams are making a little bit of a go for it, but ultimately there are levels to this. Weight classes exist for a reason. 24-14. The Falcons are back in the NFC Championship game. Maybe we'll get another chance at the New York Giants, but look at that performance. Nico, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Clutch. London, Pitts, and Green getting some touchdowns there. 1 sack. We get a pick from Xavier Watts. I don't think there's a team that can beat us. But again, I said that last year, and we crashed and burned in the championship game. All right, we get a little Edger and Cooper revenge game. In the NFC Championship game, the 11-6 Packers, from a roster standpoint, not even close. This is a middleweight fight and a heavyweight. Played well, though. Top 3 defense, top 10 offense. Packers are always tricky. We know Micah Parsons is a monster. But again, I don't think there's enough there. Okay. I mean, maybe. Whoa, what was that? New Jack? From the rafters? Sting? A couple wrestling references in there. Packers are a good sim team. They can always bring it. Never an easy game, and they're not going to let us pull away. Every time we score, they find a way to score, and we are tied up at 20. Defense needs to stop. Yeah, they get one, but our offense is falling asleep here in the second half. Barely have been in Green Bay territory, so we're going to hop in here. See if we can help them out here. 3-0 something to go. 3-0 something. Oh, look at that separation. Get him on a linebacker. Drake London, 27 touchdowns. Make it 28. Now the question is, did we just score way too quickly? Give about 3 minutes for the foul. Oh, no. We'll come back in, baby. Our team's more of like a jump ball team than it is run after the catch. Look at the top of the screen. Boston. Nice little slant. Oh, those some... We got timeouts. Huge game from Nico. Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. But we need him to finish this drive off. 39 yards to go. Need a touchdown to force overtime. Don't think this would be a go-for-2 situation. Just put that right into Boston. Holds in. Got smashed by the safety. We'll go no huddle. Just to keep the clock going, but I don't want the chew clock to, like to score if we're going to score in maybe 30 seconds. Got a couple meshes here. Pitts in London. Let that go. Let that go. Let that go. There we go. Oh, scramble. Okay, we're still good. We're still good. No huddle. Honestly, run that same play again and throw it this time. Oh, Pitts, come on, Pitts. Come on, Pitts. Good 0-2. Overtime score, don't mind if I do. 9 minutes to go, 34-34. We got like pyro and a light show going off. Little steamboat. I mean, just a lot of steamboats. Like a Parsons sack fumble. Honestly, should probably give a big reaction to that, because if that is caught the other way, they were right in field goal range to beat us. We'll go screen. Run away. Quay Walker. We got 3rd and inches. We're a nice little slant here. Ooh, okay. See it. Now there's a walk-off right there. Kyle Pitts slant. Not going to look for the Hail Mary. Just want the first down. Need 12 yards. Got him. Yes. Yes. Now, I think they get what? They get a chance to go. No, they made. Okay. Suck it. Back to the Super Bowl. 5 touchdowns, Nico. No picks. Nearly perfect game. 2 fumbles running the football. Not their best, but Kyle Pitts, 3 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns there for Drake London. Defense did nothing. And we're going to have to play a lot better if we want to get that second Super Bowl. We get a rematch of our Super Bowl win all the way back from year 2. We get the Chiefs. Now this is, the rare case where a 50-touchdown quarterback plays up against a 50-touchdown quarterback. The number 1 offense against the number 2 offense. Big advantage for the Falcons on the defensive side of the ball. But it's Kansas City in the Super Bowl. You never know what's going to happen. We know what happened the last time Nico, this was a rookie Nico, went head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. It was good news for us. But this is 2 MVPs, 2 elite quarterbacks, 2 elite schemes and systems. Something has got to give. Kansas City strikes first, touchdown. I think with how much we played to get to this point, I'd rather, our team kind of get this one over the line. They may need help, though. If they need my assistance, maybe I will provide it, because I hate losing to the Chiefs. Dallas and Kansas City are the 2 teams that I think I may interject, and I don't think there'll be any complaints in the comments. We'll come in here on 4th down just to see. Throw crossers out here if we can get a quick score and give us a chance. Defense still would need to get a stop. We got our basketball team out there. They're going to be very aggressive. Oh, no. It's not just instant touchdowns. We get fuck-ups every now and again. Okay. We're back in the same situation. We can get a score, but we need a shot here to hit. We need to be able to score before the 2-minute warning. We did get a press man right there from Boston. Safety's dropping back. 97 throw power. Get there. Whoa. Diving Superman catch. No huddle. Oh, that's a long run, though. That whole team has pretty much run the length of the field. We got to do it. Get your ass down there, boys. We have no timeouts. Drake London will put that on a slant. Got it. Oh, quick slant. Touchdown ahead of the 2-minute warning. Defense needs to give us a chance. Happy endings are overrated. Now, this won't go down as an L rebuild. We got that Super Bowl cashed in. Successful Falcons Madden 26 realistic rebuild. But the fact that we only got one, kind of like Aaron Rodgers with the Packers vibes. You'll remember it fondly. You're like, damn, that was good. That was a good era. Should they have got more success? Should there have been more wins? Should there have been more Super Bowls? Yeah. Both quarterbacks played well. No one really played elite. How the fuck? They got Jeremiah Love? What? Super team. I don't know. Just didn't have enough juice, man. It's Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. This is what happens. But you know what? In recap here, from a rebuild standpoint, you're not going to, if you're a Falcon fan, you're just looking on, cruising around YouTube, seeing what can be done with your franchise. I don't think you're going to be able to find a better rebuild than what we've been able to. This team is scary good. That 94 base overall, one of the highest we've had so far in our realistic rebuilds. And all ascending players still. You look at it like, okay, maybe Drake London and Pitts, but like in Pitts, we just got to put Green up there, the better tight end in terms of overall. Bijan still in his prime, offensive line, everyone's still in their prime outside of Lindstrom. Like, this could be a team that really the salary cap would be what could stop them from just dominating year in, year out for the next, 5 more seasons. Secondary on point, like we get, the superstar corner, he could succeed AJ Terrell if we had to keep going. Well, I'm very happy with this rebuild. This took a couple more extra days. So shout out if you're watching this on Thanksgiving. Happy holidays for all y'all down there in the United States of America. Hopefully we got some good football games coming up. I will also throw a complaint as a non-American that on Friday, the Philadelphia Eagles, my time, against Chicago Bears, is at 4 o'clock on a Friday. Fuck you, NFL. 4 o'clock. Got shit to do. Unbelievable. To be honest, put that at like 5 or 6, put it at supper time. I don't know. Anyways, if it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comment section below which team you want to see rebuilt next. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace, I love you.